So for a long time now, we've heard tales of Saquon Barkley's feats of strength, quickness, speed, and overall athleticism. Mix that with a down-to-earth, hard-working mentality, and you might just have a future legend on your hands. So last week at the NFL Combine, Saquon put his abilities on display for everybody to see. Dude killed the Combine. 40 times, bench press, the interviews, everything. Killed it. And while Saquon always had potential, there was absolutely no promise that he would be at this point today. So in today's video, we're talking the rise of Saquon Barkley. Let's get it.
Yeah, you'll never know quitter, 'cause I'ma go get her.
Saquon first began being noticed for his athleticism in the 3rd grade. He was said to be participating in a competition amongst peers, which sounds like a fancy way to say he was manhandling some cats in a fight. The quote, competition was broken up, but Saquon had been noticed by the wife of the local wrestling coach. From there, the wrestling coach wrangled up a young Saquon and got him on the wrestling team, where he quickly became one of the top wrestlers between 95 and 105 pounds. By the time he hit high school, he was putting all his effort into football, and it wasn't going great. As a freshman, he was struggling to adjust to the high school offense. He was basically in his own head and just couldn't flourish out there. His natural gifts were being suppressed by his constant overthinking and lack of a thorough understanding of the offense. At that point, Saquon just knew one thing: get the ball, go. Way out complicating. The zone read scheme ran by his high school required the running back to get the ball, be patient, find the hole, then accelerate. This would greatly benefit Saquon later in his career, but at the time, he was struggling with it. It also didn't help that Saquon's from a small town in Pennsylvania. He attended Whitehall High School, and before him, the best players from Whitehall would go to the local D2 school in the area. That was pretty much the top aspiration of athletes coming out of there. As a sophomore, Saquon started at outside linebacker, where he did find some success. That season, he served as the backup running back. But the summer going into his junior year, he attended a 7-on-7 camp and caught the eye of some Rutgers coaches. They didn't waste any time and offered young Saquon a scholarship. He quickly committed before they changed their minds, and at that point was already the most successful athlete coming out of Whitehall High School. But he didn't stop there. Saquon won the starting running back job and started the season on fire. He was so good as a junior, he began picking up scholarships from many other schools, including Missouri and Penn State. At this point, he had already verbally committed to Rutgers, and Penn State was dealing with the aftermath of the whole Jerry Sandusky situation, so I'm sure recruiting was tougher at Penn State than it had ever been during that time, and they honestly may not have been able to get Saquon to decommit from Rutgers, if not for what may have been the game of the year. See, Saquon happened to visit on October 12, 2013, and on that day, Penn State beat Michigan in a thriller that went to 4 overtimes. 43-40 was the score. At that point, Saquon could already see himself in the Penn State unis, but he committed to Rutgers, and Penn still seemed a bit unstable. So while he greatly enjoyed his visit, Saquon did not decommit to Rutgers. Not at that point. A few months later, Penn State hired James Franklin. Saquon goes on another visit in February 2014, meets James Franklin, who provided the stability that Saquon was looking for, and there you have it. He decommits from Rutgers, signs to Penn State, and the rest is history. So yeah, Rutgers fans, almost bros. During his senior season in high school, Saquon rushed for 1,851 yards, scoring 24 rushing touchdowns. He also caught 3 touchdowns and even threw 2. He goes to Penn State, rushes for 1,000 yards every season he played, including his freshman year. Check out his Penn State records: most rushing yards by a freshman, most rushing yards by a sophomore, most total yards in a single game, first player to score a return and passing touchdown in the same game, and most career rushing touchdowns in Penn State history. There's also his ridiculous weight room feats, and then he destroys the combine. Today, Saquon can't even go to his hometown without being basically mobbed. He's not a guy who seeks a lot of attention, but in many ways, that is the price of fame. It's great to see how far he's come, and I definitely wish him the best. Alright man, Saquon has an opportunity to have an unbelievable career. He can play in pretty much any scheme, and I can't wait to see where he goes. There's a good chance the Browns might take him number 1 overall. As a Bengals fan, I definitely don't want him to go to the Browns. Not trying to deal with that. So me personally, I'd like him to go number 2 overall to the Giants, man. I think the combination of him and Odell will pretty much make that team must-see TV. Not to mention Odell's over-the-top flamboyant attitude, Saquon's more reserved, down-to-earth attitude makes for an interesting dynamic on the team. So I think that'll be cool. Let me know in the comment section where you think Saquon's gonna go, where do you think he should go. Give me your thoughts and all that good stuff, man. I'm gonna holler at y'all next time. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe if you're new. My name's FlemLo Raps. One.
Yeah, you'll never know quitter, 'cause I'ma go again.